as soon as I woke up in the manner in which I had to be woken up, I literally tried so hard to handle this calmly and quietly within my family, and they all just think I'm fucking crazy. So after 7 weeks of complete and total fucking torture, I posted a video on my Facebook page. Literally started posting videos. I've started flipping the fuck out immediately because I knew no matter what in the fuck happened, I was going to need witnesses to the fact that as soon as I found out my scripted name, I started flipping the fuck out. I'm going, holy shit. And I started posting videos. A couple of them took them down, but I was talking about how I had gone through some kind of a total energy change, and like the energy of Elijah was literally like fucking put into my body, and I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I am like literally, I just have to wake up flipping the fuck out because this is important. And my town started calling the police on me, and then I got really pissed off at my whole town because they were just straight up fucking making fun of me. And I don't blame them, but I started talking about an energy upgrade on my 33rd birthday. Roundabout-ish. And then right after my birthday, make sure this is turned up. Right after my birthday came this.
My whole house was shaking. It felt like an earthquake. What they say about a tornado, it sounds like a train coming. That's what it sounds like.
A massive cleanup effort is underway after several hours of heavy rain and harsh winds last night. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Erica Stanish. One of the hardest hit areas was Uniontown, Fayette County. The wind tore through many structures and caused thousands of residents to lose power. KDKA's Lauren Linder joins us now with what residents have to say after the crazy night. Lauren.
Erica, these are just some of the images coming out of Fayette County today after winds many haven't experienced in their lifetime ripped through the region. Now folks are just starting to see the aftermath for the first time and trying to figure out their next steps.
Over here, we lost a bunch of stuff up there.
John Kohler shows us the damage to his roof in Uniontown.
My whole house was shaking.
Severe winds and rain stormed through Fayette County Friday afternoon and through the night.
What they say about a tornado, it sounds like a train coming. That's what it sounds like.
Weather ripped off some of John's roof and a decorative fence.
It's terrible.
And he wasn't the only one impacted. Across the greater Uniontown area into Fairchance and Connellsville, strong winds tore buildings apart, took out stained glass windows from a church and a roof off someone's back porch.
The wind was terrible. I mean, trees were down. The fire whistle was going off all night long.
Gusts even knocked over this canopy at a Sunoco gas station in Connellsville.
All these wires got pulled down, and those trees fell over and knocked the pole out, cut the pole right off.
The storm left thousands without power and in the dark. West Penn and their contractors were out all Saturday working to get electricity back up and running as crews started picking up the pieces. folks living in the region are still shaken up,
I ain't never seen it that windy in my life.
but are getting their hands dirty, cleaning up as they start their road to recovery.
Do what I gotta do, fix it.
Now, we've reached out to West Penn to get an estimate as to when power will be back up. A spokesperson tells us it should be restored for...
Now, if you look up this random ass storm that totally devastated my personal entire area, you will also see that it has the biggest fucking hailstones like ever, I swear. And the record-breaking hailstones were directly here.
And if you were in those areas when the hail hit, you know it was nothing to mess with. KDKA's Erica Mokay joins us live now in Fayette County to give us a look at what people there and surrounding counties experienced. Erica.
Hey, Erica, yeah, we spoke to one woman who says she was in a panic. She was working here inside Beck's Pizza, 51 in Perryopolis, when she described what sounded like shattering glass. What she was actually hearing was hail hitting the building and cars nearby.
Yeah, golf ball size, pretty much picked the windshield.
Passing through Perryopolis, this driver starts recording as his car is pelted with relentless hail.
Good Lord.
Next door to where that video was shot, Julianne Basinger says she was telling everyone to take cover.
And I immediately called my husband and my dad, and I said, get the babies downstairs. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen anything like it.
The flash of pounding hail didn't last long, but it was long enough to dent Basinger's car. And these two. The person who shot this video says circular welts now dot just about every car parked in this lot near Cal U.
It was like glass was breaking. It was like people were throwing, you know, big boulders at the windows. And the gust of wind was just crazy.
That wind strong enough to produce this crazy image. A trampoline sent airborne in Perry Township, landing on power lines, making them look like a clothesline running through the middle of town.
This is all hail. It looks like it snowed.
People who experienced it say the balls of ice were like golf balls, some measuring up to 2 inches.
It was insane.
Of course, that hail is long gone now, but the damage to those cars and even some homes remains. Basinger says she'll be making a phone call to her insurance company in the morning, and based on that video we just showed you, she likely won't be the only one. Reporting live tonight in Perryopolis, Erica Mokay, KDK News.
And then, I thought it was really fucking cute. I mean, if you think this shit isn't scripted, and sometimes you wake up with a script with a name on it, and then you realize that, oh yeah, they totally know who the fuck we actually are in the real life game outside of this holographic matrix. They know exactly who the fuck we are. Then I saw this shit like this.
The prophet Elijah is here. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. This prophecy gives the assurance that Elijah will be sent before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. How will this happen? We must consider the way in which Elijah was taken away, to give us an indication of how his coming back would be manifested. In 2 Kings 2:11, we read, And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. A whirlwind is a storm. and the U.S. is presently dealing with the effects of what is known as a bomb cyclone storm named Elliot. Elliot is a gender-neutral name of Hebrew origin, meaning the Lord is my God. Originally a biblical name derived from Elijah. This unprecedented storm is a sign of Elijah's return, the foreshadowing of what is to come as the great and dreadful day of the Lord approaches. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the storm will go down in history as the most devastating ever to hit the state. We invite you to visit the website whitecloudfarm.org to learn.
And then shit like this. Let's go back up. Bomb.
The storm that is making news right now here for our upcoming Christmas holidays here for December 24th to December 25th. The storm is called Elliot.
Elliot. The unisex name for Elijah? You fucking kidding me?
It's called a bomb cyclone. It's called once in a generation storm. And it's hitting right now. And Elliot is the Greek form of the Hebrew name Eliyahu or Elijah in English. And I wanted to share with you, Elijah is very important for the issue of end times and pointing to the coming of the Lord, the coming of Messiah. How important is Elijah? Well, it's very, very important. Both in the Annunaki in the Old Testament, in Malachi, the very last chapter of the Old Testament speaks of Elijah coming to prepare the way for the Lord. We know that John the Baptist came as the power and spirit of Elijah, and Jesus mentioned Elijah. He came and prepared the way for Jesus in coming. But we also know here as we come to the end times in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, it says, there was given to me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of God. This is, by the way, the scripture that shows us clearly that there will be a temple.
Speaking of temples, if the Jews are building the third temple, or if it is built, anybody over there have eyes on what's going on over there? Because if they are fucking with that temple, that's just further proof that this new world order / cabal, Zion cabal, is all true. And I don't think that they would be fucking with that temple if they did not know Elijah was absolutely on this scene. I'm fucking pissed.
Temple in the end times, in the altar and them that worship therein. And then he says, and this is interesting in verse 2, he says, but the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months. So the temple is measured, but the outer court was left for the Gentiles. That's why I don't think that the Al-Aqsa will be destroyed. I think it'll be there. I think that they will work out an agreement to put a temple there close by, and they'll figure out that the actual temple was not really where the Al-Aqsa Mosque is. It was close by, and that's what I think. But this is what I wanted to show you in regard to this video. He said, I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. So there's going to be sackcloth. 2 witnesses, which
I've never heard of that before. But in my head, when I saw the 2 witnesses come forward, It looked like they were wearing something that would be called a sackcloth. It looked like a sacky cloth, like a darker than Manila. I don't fucking know. I only saw them from behind though. I didn't see their faces. Those could be fucking women for all I know. I don't know if they're I'm sure they're dudes, but I didn't see their faces. I saw them from behind.
Yeah, it is believed by most scholars among the followers of Jesus, that one of these two witnesses will be Elijah. Some people say Elijah and Moses. Some people say Elijah and Enoch. But Elijah is almost always included as one of those two witnesses. And then in Malachi chapter 4, the very last chapter of the Old Testament, we see that God speaks of the day coming. Behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Yeah, it's freezing today, but the day's coming is going to burn as an oven. And he said, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And that day, dear friend,
I'd like to make it a great and dreadful day for the Lord. The Lord is not your Lord at all. You are your own God. This is horseshit.
is drawing near. It's the day that Jesus came to bring mercy and grace. We're right now in the age of grace, in the church age, time we're proclaiming the good news of hope through the blood of Jesus cleansing sin for all who will turn to Christ and believe. And we see that this storm being named Elijah or Elliot, which is the Greek form of the name Elijah. I just want to show you how important is Elijah. Well, every Passover, the Jews set an extra cup of wine on the dinner table. All over the world, Jews are scattered. And every Passover, Jews set an extra cup of wine on the dinner table and open the door for the prophet Elijah, waiting for him to come. So they're showing, they're keeping in their minds all over the world, every time the Jewish community, Jewish households celebrate Passover, which they do consistently every year, right at the time of the year when Jesus died, because he died on Passover. He took the Passover bread and he said, this is my body. The night before he died, he took the Passover cup of wine and he said, this is the blood of a new promise, a new testament. And
I don't like wine. But if I were drinking wine, I'd be drinking that cheap-ass Cavit Moscato, because it's fucking bomb. There are so many lies and shit. This sucks. This sucks.
But when the Jews celebrate Passover all over the world until today, they have one cup of wine that they don't drink, and they remind themselves that this cup of wine is for Elijah, who's coming. So this is a very, very important part of the Jewish community's celebration in remembrance. And Elijah is related to the coming of Messiah. He's related to the coming of the Messiah. And so this storm that is huge right now, being named Elliot, is interesting. And I will show you this too, that Elliot is the baby name. I'm sorry.
I'm a homecoming queen.
Elliot is the baby name is derived from Elijah. And Elijah means my God is Yahweh, or my God is the Lord, my God is Jehovah.
Boo.
It's derived from, Elliot is derived from Elijah. Just wanted to show you that clearly. So this storm here being called Elliot, which is a once in a generation storm, is coming right on Hanukkah, And with all of these signs that we have seen that relate to Hanukkah, I would just say this is very interesting. And, Brother Steve Fletcher has come up with some very interesting things related to Hanukkah. And I think God has chosen him for that purpose, to alert the church to watch, to wait, to look, to be diligent. What does the Lord want you to do right now? And how bad is this storm right now that's hitting? Well, it's very bad. Before we look at that, we'll say this. How close are we to the end right now? What are some things that make us feel the end is so near? Well, we see Israel's government. Israel is a big sign. The very fact Israel became a nation is huge. But now Israel forming the 37th government. And the timing right now of Benjamin Netanyahu announcing that he has agreed on the parties, various parties have agreed to form the government, but that government has not been sworn in yet, will be sworn in the end of next week, probably. So this week, dear friends, is huge with Hanukkah and all the signs relating to Hanukkah. Brother Daniel Taylor, the signs that he had identified with the 2598.
Yeah, I can't really watch shit like this. It kind of makes me sick. It literally totally makes me sick. My whole life I've been guided by 3s and 17s. Are you fucking kidding me? This shit makes me sick. These people will look at this storm and they'll go, "Oh, Elijah's one of the 2 witnesses that came forward." Well, why does this look like a big spider effect to me? For my direct hit of hail to all of that splintering out, I mean, why would I be doing this? And why would this storm be here? Right in my City of Champions area. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. The Lord. I wonder if I could gain some traction one of these fucking days, and maybe if everybody thinks that they want Jesus Christ to come back and end the fucking world, and you don't realize you're suicidal if you feel that way. Wouldn't it be so cool if we were in a video game and my character could go over that way, could go over that way on top of a certain mountain and just ask your Lord to show himself? Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be a cool movie? I think that'd be a really cool movie.